running in engine, but okay, world premiere. That's running in engine, but that's not like you can actually have control. That's very linear. That's not gameplay, if you ask me. Now, what are we looking at? Okay, a sun. There's like an eclipse coming. Yo, play those drums. Hell yeah. Oh, wait, is this a KOTOR remake? Maybe the KOTOR remake. Maybe. They announced the KOTOR remake and then they just didn't elaborate. Yo, KOTOR slaps, actually. KOTOR and KOTOR 2. We need a KOTOR 2 remake that is actually finished. That's what we need. I don't know what game this is, so. I'm actually not that big of a Star Wars fan. I just know it. That's cool. What we need is this fucking... That's Yoda. What's up? What we need is a fucking Star Wars pod racing game. That's what we need. Like, exclusively pod racing only. That will be fun. Whose eye is that? Lightsaber... Wait, is that... I thought that was Qui-Gon for a second. If that's Qui-Gon, I mean so in. I love Qui-Gon Jinn. I actually, like, nobody does, but I do. I like Qui-Gon. He looks like fucking Jesus. Space Jesus. I don't know who that is. I don't know Star Wars, man. I want to play Last Jedi. No, it wasn't Last Jedi. It was Fallen Order, something like that. That game looked really sick. If there was ever a Star Wars game I would like to try, it would be that one. That gameplay for that game looked really fun. What's up? You look sad. What are we gonna see? Fucking... Okay. Is it Darth Maul? I don't know, just Star Wars Eclipse. Okay, that's a new one. That's a new title they're revealing. And I just showed a bunch of Star Wars stuff. Quantic... No, it's him! No! David Cage is making a Star Wars game! David Cage is making a Star Wars game. Please stop giving this man work. I want David Cage to walk on stage so I can just scream. Stop giving David Cage work. Stop pretending that David Cage is a good game developer. Or worse, a good person. God is gonna get paid so fucking much. Quantic Dream was getting sued because the workplace was a fucking piece of shit. Like, not even a year ago. And he's talking about inclusive communities. Fuck off. Quantic Dream sucks. I was just telling my friend, David Cage Star Wars game, please stop giving this man work. David Cage sucks, by the way. So that Star Wars game, the one we just saw, Star Wars Eclipse, it's developed by Quantic Dream. Quantic Dream is a video game developer based in France. Started and ran by a man named David Cage. David Cage is an awful video game developer and a worse person. So if you look up anything about David Cage, you'll see what I mean. Why does this look like a VHS?
Pete Hines here. Hundreds of free game codes.
Oh,
A small way of saying thank you for playing our games for the past 35 years.
okay, let me go to Steam right now. David Cage is making a fucking Star Wars game. I cannot believe. Like, they just announced we're making a Star Wars game and it's made by David Cage. I can't fucking believe they did that. I can't believe they did that to me. Because, like, I said it before, David Cage is a piece of shit. He runs a shitty studio. They got in trouble. They legitimately got in legal trouble because of, like, awful work practices there. Oh, this is not the game. I don't know where the fucking Star Wars David Cage game is, but, like, whatever, man. I mean, here's the thing. It's David Cage, if you don't know, Quantic Dream made the games. They made, first of all, Omicron the Nomad Soul, which is an awful game. The worst game ever. Watch the best friends play Omicron in order to get understanding what the game is. Then they made Indigo Prophecy, also known as Fahrenheit. Then they made Heavy Rain. Then they made Beyond Two Souls, and then they made Detroit Become Human. Here's the thing: is that there's a lot of like things in some games like Detroit that can make you think that the game is like good, because some characters are able to like carry the game. You know, the guy who plays, I think the name of the character is Connor, isn't it? The cop android. You know, people love that guy, and I think it's good. Like, I've seen enough of that game to be like, okay, you're doing something good here. But like, if you look at the narrative of the game, you realize that this is like a bunch of shit. It's literally, you know, the meme picture of like the guy holding the sign that says "Stop Racism." That's what Detroit Become Human is. It's just like a very like dumb and like very simplistic take on racism. But then when you see interviews about fucking Detroit Become Human before the game came out, people were asking David Cage about like, okay, this game is cool about racism, so and asking him about the themes, and David Cage being like, no, this game is not about racism, what are you talking about? This game is about robots. And it's like, David, bro, it's like, okay, David Cage is awful. It also, there's like a very popular image of David Cage on an interview with in Beyond Two Souls, and this is the best image that perfectly shows what working with this man is, and it's this image. So David Cage is the man at the right. In the middle, you got Elliot Page, and then you have Willem Dafoe, which are characters in they played characters in Beyond Two Souls. They hated every second of it, and like, I think the reason why Elliot Page showed up in Beyond Two Souls, I think it's because David Cage was like, I think David Cage like had like a weird like book of like a bunch of like pictures and stuff, and it was like a scrapbook of pictures being like, oh, I'm a big fan of your work, whatever. And Elliot Page was like, okay, sure, I'll tune in. And then David Cage made Elliot do all the weird stuff that every single, and this is gonna be difficult to talk about, but David Cage is awful at writing women, and he has a lot of things that he writes women to be and to do in his games, and Elliot Page suffered from a lot of those, and David Cage didn't tell Elliot Page that there was going to be a lot of uncomfortable scenes regarding their character, and Elliot Page didn't know that his character model was going to be naked and displayed for the world to see. Some stuff like that. So they hate each other. Well, no, David Cage is under the illusion that people like him, but they hate him. And Willem Dafoe also just hated working on that. Like it's terrible. Everything that David Cage does is terrible, and he's making a Star Wars game. Just watch the channel Best Friends Play, it's the channel ended, but watch them play any David Cage game, and you will understand perfectly what that game developer is about. I think Detroit was pretty good though. Detroit had good parts in it. I will say that. I said that earlier. Detroit had good parts in it. Mostly things surrounding like I think the name of the cop android is like Connor. I think that the acting of a lot of the characters was good. The delivery was really good. But when you look at the overall narrative, it becomes really apparent that, first of all, the entire genre of like androids, it is a slavery analogy, and the fact that David Cage is like, no, it's not though. Don't worry about it. It's not about race. Never mind the black revolutionary android. Never mind him. It's not about race. The thing is that David Cage says whatever the fuck is better for PR or whatever. If he can get out of dodging the question of like, I don't know how to write slavery analogies, then he'll try to get that out of it. The thing about Detroit is that like, now it's a big company, and it was also funded by Sony. It was like, it's a big game, which means that there is less David Cage in Detroit than there was in other games if you go backwards in time, like Heavy Rain and like Indigo Prophecy and all those games. The further back you go, the more you realize how awful David Cage is at writing games, how awful his narratives are. because it's always like plot twists, and it's always like a crazy like Native American plot twist, and it's like, what the fuck is happening? Every female character is a short hair brunette that has like a shower scene, and it's like, what? Why? It's like, okay, sure, man, sure, David. Yeah, Heavy Rain had those. My favorite scene in Heavy Rain is when the dude is like, my kids just died, and then the woman is just like, I want you to give me a baby. Like, it's like, no, this is how women talk, said David Cage. Anyway, Heavy Rain's awful. What was about to say? Oh yeah, you cock a dude with his own body in Omicron. You steal a dude's body, and then you fuck his wife with his own body. That happens in Omicron: The Nomad Soul, for David Cage's first game, and of course the wife was a short hair brunette. By the way, just to be sure, has David ever talked to women? No, he hasn't. I would assume that he hasn't. I don't know if you want to look it up, but there's like articles that came out like there's a lot of articles about Quantic Dream and the workplace, and they actually got in trouble for having a terrible workplace thing. I think French papers wrote that Quantic Dream was a terrible place to work at. Then Quantic Dream took those French papers to court, and then in court it was shown how terrible the workplace practices were at Quantic Dream. You know, they just said openly like racist and non-inclusive shit all over the place, and I don't know, David Cage, it's just like a football locker room. That's how it was like described, how terrible it was. Just hang out at Quantic Dream. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not surprised. David Cage gives that aura. But anyway, The Expanse.